Caitlin Clark walks into Chase Center tonight, 3 assists short of a milestone Sue Bird has held since 2004. Tip-off is 10 p.m. Eastern, fastest pace in WNBA history to 1,000 points and 500 assists. Sue Bird needed 82 games. Caitlin Clark could do it tonight in her 59th. And the front office that runs her team has spent the last 6 days saying nothing about any of it. 3 assists, 22 years, 1 road game. That's the math Caitlin Clark walks into tonight. The opportunity, the moment, the chance to put her name above Sue Bird's on a list every point guard in this league has measured herself against for nearly 2 decades. And the math the people who are paid to run her franchise have refused to put their name on. The Indiana Fever has not posted about it. The Indiana Fever head coach has not been asked about it on camera. The Indiana Fever president of basketball operations has not said one public word about the night Caitlin Clark might pass Sue Bird. Somebody in that building knows. Tonight. 6 days. That's how long the people running this team have known what was on the line tonight. 6 days ago, Friday, Caitlin Clark walked off the floor at Gainbridge Fieldhouse after dropping 22 points and 9 assists on the Golden State Valkyries, one of the cleanest stat lines of her career, in a Fever win. By Saturday morning, the math was public. Pro Football Network had it. The Indianapolis beat writers had it. Every career stat tracker covering the WNBA had it. 6 assists, 18 years, Sue Bird's name on the line. Somewhere in Chase Center tonight, there is going to be a fan in a Caitlin Clark jersey who has never been to Indianapolis. She isn't a Fever fan, she's a Clark fan. She bought a ticket to a road game in San Francisco because Caitlin Clark is playing in it. And the front office that runs Caitlin Clark's team has spent the last 6 days failing her. There is a name on the door at the Indiana Fever offices. It isn't Tiffany Hayes, it isn't Amber Cox's, it isn't even Herb Simon's. It's Kelly Krauskopf. Kelly Krauskopf is the president of basketball and business operations for the Indiana Fever. She returned to the franchise in September of 2024 after years inside the Indianapolis Pacers front office as their assistant general manager. She is the woman who hired Tiffany Hayes as head coach on November 1st of that same year. She is the woman who hired Amber Cox as her general manager 4 weeks before that. She is the woman who stood at an introductory press conference and told Indianapolis she was back to set a new standard for women's sports. Her name is on the door. Her name is on every roster decision since. Her name is on the hire that put Tiffany Hayes at the podium. Her name was on the press release the day Indianapolis announced the $78 million performance center that opens before the 2027 season. And her name has not been on a single public word about Caitlin Clark this week. Not one statement, not one quote, not one sentence. Let's run her week. Friday night, Tiffany Hayes, a 13-year WNBA veteran playing for the Golden State Valkyries, stood at the Chase Center post-game podium and told the cameras the officials would never start calling the fouls on Caitlin Clark, and that if they did, Clark would never get to play the game. The clip ran on every major sports outlet by Saturday morning. Kelly Krauskopf said nothing. Saturday and Sunday, OutKick and the AOL syndication and the WFMD regional affiliate reported that Hayes had engaged with Threads posts from fans that read, in OutKick's own characterization, like calls for physical harm. The story ran for 48 hours. Kelly Krauskopf said nothing. Tiffany Hayes, the head coach Krauskopf hired in November of 2024, stood at her own podium after Friday's win and defended Caitlin Clark by name. "I thought she was great," White told reporters. "She's an emotional player, and it's one of the things that makes her great." That's the head coach, on camera, defending her star. Kelly Krauskopf said nothing. Tuesday, the league office in New York issued no public statement on Hayes. The WNBPA issued no public statement on Hayes. Kelly Krauskopf said nothing. Wednesday, the Indiana Fever held a regularly scheduled media availability. Amber Cox, the general manager Krauskopf hired in October of 2024, was in front of cameras. The same Amber Cox who on April 23rd told reporters that the Fever's decisions are impacting what we need to do against a hard cap in the future. Cox had a chance to speak about the player whose presence is the entire reason that cap matters. Kelly Krauskopf said nothing. 6 days. The head coach spoke. The general manager spoke. The president of basketball and business operations didn't. Tonight, Caitlin Clark walks into the home arena of the player who said that on camera. Chase Center, 10 p.m. Eastern. The same gym, the same crowd, the same sideline, the same wing. Tiffany Hayes, who finished Friday night with 3 personal fouls, while Caitlin Clark finished with 5 plus a flagrant plus a technical, the kind of disparity that turns games and ends seasons. Hayes is on the floor tonight. No league discipline issued, no suspension, no fine that's been made public, no statement from the commissioner. And the front office that runs Caitlin Clark's team has not had one public word about any of it. Not a statement of support, not a request for league review, not a public protective beat for the player whose jersey leads merchandise sales across this league. The Fever front office has spent the run-up to a national television road game on its star's record night, being smaller than its star. Caitlin Clark is going to walk onto that floor tonight in a Fever uniform with no Indianapolis institutional voice behind her, into a building where the player who threatened her is the crowd's favorite. 3 assists from a milestone Sue Bird has held since 2004, and Kelly Krauskopf has been silent for 6 days. There's a number Kelly Krauskopf knows down to the decimal place: $560 million. That's what Sportico reported the Indiana Fever franchise is worth in May of 2026. 522% growth since Caitlin Clark arrived. Every dollar of that growth has Caitlin Clark's name on it. That isn't a market correction. That isn't normal franchise appreciation. The Indiana Fever appreciated like nothing this league has ever seen, because Indiana drafted the player who rewrote what the WNBA could be worth. Kelly Krauskopf returned to Indiana in September of 2024. She walked back into a franchise whose valuation was being rewritten in real time by one player on the roster. That player is 3 assists from history tonight. That player is walking into a hostile road floor where the opposing wing told the cameras the fouls would never get called on her. That player has, right now, every single dollar of that 522% appreciation pinned to her ability to keep walking onto floors like Chase Center for the next 12 to 15 years. And the woman whose franchise that valuation belongs to has been silent for 6 days. Every dollar of the growth, 0 of the protection. There was a Fever president who knew what to do when her star was in trouble. 2015. Tamika Catchings, the best player in Indiana Fever history at the time, was finishing the back end of a 15-year Hall of Fame career on a body that was paying for every minute. The Fever front office didn't let her play through fatigue and pretend everything was fine. They put a hard management protocol in place. They controlled her minutes. They held her out of back-to-backs. They made public statements about it. They told Indianapolis exactly what they were doing and exactly why. They protected the body and the narrative at the same time, because they knew if they didn't, somebody else would write the narrative for them. The president of the Indiana Fever in 2015 had a name: Kelly Krauskopf. She knows what the protocol looks like. She wrote it, she put it in place, she stood in front of microphones and explained it. In 2026, on the week her current star is being threatened on a hot mic by a 13-year veteran on national broadcast, walking into a hostile road floor, 3 assists from the fastest pace in WNBA history. The same Kelly Krauskopf has done none of the things she did in 2015. No public protective statement, no management protocol announcement, no narrative control beat, no microphone, no explanation, just silence. The receipt isn't what she did wrong. The receipt is what she's done before, and is not doing now. She is the woman who wrote the protocol. And tonight at Chase Center, somebody is going to find out whether anyone in the Indiana Fever front office still remembers it. Tip-off is in hours, not days, not nights, hours. There are 3 things that can happen at Chase Center tonight. Caitlin Clark can pass Sue Bird tonight on a hostile road floor with no Indianapolis institutional voice behind her. She'll get 3 assists in front of the cameras, and the Indiana Fever front office will issue a celebration tweet hours after the moment is over, after every other voice in basketball has weighed in. Indianapolis gets to clap from a building that didn't put one word into the lead-up. Or Caitlin Clark doesn't break it tonight. The pass count comes up short. She gets 4. She gets 3. She gets 2. The Valkyries collapse her every drive. The officials swallow the whistle, and the moment slides another game down the schedule. And the front office that didn't speak for a week gets to keep not speaking, because the record didn't happen. Or Tiffany Hayes makes contact, the way she said she wouldn't 4 nights ago, on camera. The night becomes about something else entirely. And the Indiana Fever front office, the one with Kelly Krauskopf's name on the door, gets to react to it. Days late, from a city Indianapolis isn't in. 3 assists, 22 years, Tiffany Hayes on the floor, Sue Bird's milestone on the line, $560 million of franchise valuation tipping off in a jersey that does not belong to anybody in the Indiana Fever front office. Kelly Krauskopf has had 6 days, 10 p.m. Eastern, Chase Center. She has a few hours left, and then she doesn't.